Well, welcome everyone. I appreciate everyone hanging and being patient while I get the live stream started. 51 people here waiting, and we are now live. It's time for the Monday night live stream. Welcome. We're going to talk about Aquashella for a little bit, but I do see some questions here. The Walter asked if I bred any killifish. At first I said no, and then I remembered, I have bred lamp-eye killifish, which I'm sure is not what he is referring to, or she. Because lamp-eye killifish are super easy to breed. They're nothing like killifish that you have to raise the eggs out of the water on moss and that sort of thing. I'm sure not the information they're looking for. And then Arcus says, tell me more about the lamprey Achilles, the lamprey. I don't know if you mean lamp-eye or lamprey, or if you're meaning the ones that Dan has, the lamprey. Pretty awesome. But I've never spawned them, so I don't know if that's what you were asking for either. What did you bring us from Dallas? Absolutely nothing. Steve says, Dallas in August, great hoodie weather. Yeah, everyone was like, I can't believe you're wearing a hoodie. And I'm just like, everywhere has air conditioning. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've gone somewhere where it's like 100 degrees outside, but you go inside and someone's like, ooh, it's kind of chilly in here. It's everywhere has air conditioning. I'm not outside in Dallas. I'm inside. It doesn't matter. I'm wearing a hoodie. Get over it. Lamp-eye. Okay, lamp-eye. So, real quick, lamp-eye killifish are just a silver fish with like there's a few different species, but mainly they're going to have blue kind of, they look like headlights around their eyeballs, and they look really cool, especially from the top down. No chair noises. Good job. The chair noises are still there. I'm just using a different mic again. This mic is the one I used last week, and I returned it. It's going back. I don't like it at all. So I'm back to the last mic, or the wireless mic. But lamp-eye killifish are really easy to breed. All you have to do is feed them and put them in a tank, and that's it. You have to be careful what you put with them, because obviously you don't want the fry getting eaten, and they're only 1-inch fish, so the fry are really small as well. If you have lots of plants and some algae, you really don't even have to feed the fry, although you can put food in there for them, but they'll just graze on the algae and all the micro predators in there, and they do just fine. I've always community spawned lamp-eye killifish, and it's just really easy. No, I've lived in Texas long enough to know that venues with large crowds like that in August, you sir are a freak of nature. So Saturday, there was actually a ton of people there, and it's kind of funny. So I really never looked at the schedule, and I got there at like 9:30, and there was like an event scheduled from 10. Like the event started at 10 o'clock, but I didn't know that those events were like VIP early events, and so I'm standing there at like 10:30, like, where is everyone? I was just like, wow, like no one came to this event at all. And then I guess they opened it actually noon, and then it was like they just opened the floodgates, and there was a ton of people there, and it did get a little warm there when there was that many people in there, but it wasn't that bad at all. And Sunday there was way less people there, and it didn't get warm at all. Is it just me, or does your blood boil when some noob at the LFS begging for discounts and free stuff because they killed their last fish they bought there? Support your LFS. Don't beg for discounts. Yeah. Yep. I agree. You should, I mean, that's not even, you don't even have a right to get a discount. Like, if it's your fault, like, why should you get a discount? That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it makes sense to me why other people would do that, but I would never. I could never do that. Like, hey, I killed my own fish, and so yeah. Anyway, so Alice says, I was shocked to see Bob on the Aquashella live with John. That was really fun. It was kind of there was only like 20 people there, so there wasn't much to talk about, and we had no agenda. But I think we rolled with it pretty well. Like, I wasn't even supposed to be on the live stream, but Fish Room Fever got sick and couldn't do it. So John asked me to stand in, and I was like, yeah, what are we going to talk about? And he's like, I don't know. Apparently Fish Room Fever was supposed to like interview him, had a bunch of questions for him. And then we got there, and I was like, I don't know what we're supposed to talk about. So I think it turned out all right, though. As a woman of a certain age, you're not risking any unnatural hot flashes. Well, all right. Well, all right. I will say it has been 3 years since I've been to an event that size, and I did miss it. I didn't realize I missed it until I was there, and getting to meet everyone and seeing some people I haven't seen for 3 years, and then meeting some people. It was definitely a lot of fun. I don't know that I could do it again for like 2 days. I think I went to another Aquashella. I would definitely go on like that Saturday. But like being there for 2 days, I don't know. Like the being there Sunday, I was just like, well, what do I do now? Like I've already seen everything 100 times. For the most part, it's the same people that were there the day before. So yeah, I think if I did it again, I would probably plan something else to do on like the second day. But unless there was like a talk or something I wanted to listen to. Hey, go lay down. I literally just played with you for like 10 minutes. You're just fine. Go lay down, buddy. Don't cry. Your last aquatic experience in New Jersey in 2018. Yeah, that was, I think, my last one too. Van Hoff says, "Hey Bob, nice to meet you at Aquachella. I am in the middle-aged, slightly overweight, balding guy. Are you talking about me? Like, oh wait, that was half the attendees. Oh, so you are talking about me. All right. Talked to you right after Corey spoke. I don't even remember going to Corey's talk. I don't think I would do his talk. Your dogs keep making look around at mine. Your dogs keep making... So what's the backstory then of how you ended up there? So Rob from Flip Aquatics actually reached out to me like a month ago and asked if, you know, he's like, hey, we got to get you to an Aquashella. And at that time, I actually turned him down, because I didn't think I could make it to this one. So I turned him down, but I was like, hey, if you're doing the Orlando show in February, that one I can plan for right now, and I can go. And that one's not set up yet. Like, they don't know. Well, I don't know if they know, but it's not, like, set up yet. So I don't even know what's going to happen, if it's going to happen. So I was like, no, I can't really make this one. Just got too much stuff going on. And then another sponsor stepped up about a week before it started and was like, hey, you know, do you want to go to Aquashella? We'll pay your way as long as, you know, you promote us. And I was like, no. Again, like, I just got back from Wyoming, and I was like, I can't just turn around again. And then a couple days later, you know, I met with the sponsor, and they were like, you sure you don't want to go? Like, we'll cover everything. And after meeting with the sponsor, I was like, okay, he's not, you know, they're not some psycho. So I was like, okay. And so I went there. It was Deuce Bigelow Aquarium Services that sent me there. And so I had to, like, wear their hat and drop their name a few times. But Bigelow Aquarium Services, I don't know if you ever heard of them. But they paid my way there, so that was pretty nice of them. And yeah, it turned out we met on a Tuesday. I had to find a dog sitter, and by Wednesday night I had found someone to watch my dogs, got the plane ticket, got the hotel. And I was going back and forth. I did message Corey because I wanted to just know a few things about you know, like, what should I be doing, or, you know, just trying to get some insider info. And he told me about the Friday night VIP meet and greet. And I had messaged John the day before and told him about, you know, I got a sponsor sending me out. So he knew. Those were the only two people that knew. And John, once I messaged John that I was going, that's when he asked me to take Fish Room Fever spot. So he was telling people that he had like a secret guest the whole time, which was kind of fun. So I flew in there Friday evening. I got there around 4-ish. I took a cab from the airport to the hotel, and wouldn't you know it, I left my phone in the cab. So it was literally like I got out of the cab, I paid him in the cab. I got out and I took a couple steps and I put my hands in my pockets and I was like, I don't have my phone. But he was driving away and I was literally running after the cab. Like it was a scene out of a movie. Like I'm like, hey, waving my arms, like screaming. The valet guy at the hotel is like, what's going on here? And he just, boom, just got, it's like right by the on-ramp to the freeway. It's like a straight shot. He was gone. And I just kind of stood there and I'm like, I'll be honest, I might have said a few swear words, which is not like me, but I did. And I had no idea what to do at this point. Like I went into the hotel, I'm looking around, I don't see anyone I recognize. I can't call anyone for help. Obviously, I don't know anyone's phone number. So I go up and I check in and I'm like, hey, I just left my phone in the cab. Like, what can I do? And they're like, well, what cab company? I'm like, I have no idea. They're like, well, what color was the cab? I'm like, I have no idea. And so she's like, well, there's yellow cab, and she started listing off like 4 cab companies. And I was like, are yellow cabs actually yellow? And she's like, yes, because here in Seattle, yellow cab can be any color. It just says yellow cab on it, right? So I was like, well, it wasn't yellow, so we can rule that one out. So she gave me some numbers to call, and she called. They also have like email that you can email for their lost and found. So she was really nice, and she was emailing all the companies, and I'm like, can you call John Hudson? He's staying here. Can you call him? And she's like, no, I can't do that. And I'm like, I promise you, he won't care. Can you please just call his number that's in your system? And she's like, I really can't do that. I'm like, can you call his room then? So she calls his room, and of course he's not there. I'm like, can you call Corey McElroy? So she looks him up, calls his room, and of course he's not there either. And she's like, when she looked up Corey, she's like, oh, are you with the Aquashella thing? And I was like, well, kind of, like I'm going to it. And she's like, well, there's the so the VIP thing that was going on Friday night was at the Fish Gallery, which is like 12 miles across town. And she's like, well, they're in the convention center right now. They're having their little meet and greet. And I'm like, no, that's later. That's not even here. She's like, no, they're on the 2nd floor right now. And I was like, oh, shoot, I'm there. Thank you. So I go in there and I just kind of go in there and like John sees me and I'm just like, dude, you won't believe what I did. I left my phone in the cab. And so John was nice enough to keep calling and calling my phone over and over. Of course, I still had it in silent mode from being on the airplane. I thought I still had it in airplane mode, so thankfully it was not. So I'm like super bummed out. It's like the VIP meet and greet, so I'm like trying to like, you know, not just act like my life is over from losing my phone, and also like meet people and smile and take photos with them. And I'm just like, on the inside, I'm just like crying, but on the outside, I'm trying to act like normal. So anyone who met me on Friday, I'm sorry. I was definitely not myself. And if I let you down, that's why. I was really bummed. I was crying on the inside. And it was pretty fun though. Like, you know, besides Corey and John, no one knew I was coming there. Rob was like, oh my God, and came running over, and it was pretty fun. Anyway, so the night goes on, and I go back to my room at like 9 o'clock, and I'm just calling my phone over and hoping that he'll at least see the phone light up. And finally at like 9:30 he answers. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, dude, I'm pretty sure I left my phone in your cab, hoping it's the cab driver at this point and not some dude that just walked off with my phone. And he's like, yeah. He's like, my previous passenger or whatever saw it and handed it to me. I'm like, yes. He's like, who are you? I'm like, you dropped me off at the Renaissance. He's like, oh, I remember you. And so when he dropped me off, the cab fare was $24, and I handed him 2 20s, and I was like, I so wanted to be done and get into the hotel. I was just like, keep the change, you know, $16 tip, whatever, and I left. And he's like, oh, you were so generous. I remember you. And he's like, I'll bring it back right now. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I hung up the phone. I ran downstairs, and I'm just waiting outside. And he does show up, and I tipped him $100 for bringing my phone back. And then I realized I ran out of my room so fast, I left my room key in there, which is not a big deal, but it's still, you know, it's like all these things are just going wrong for me. And so I go back to the hotel, front desk lady, she's still there. She's like, did you get your phone? I'm like, yes. And but I locked myself out, and she's like, boy, it's just not your day. And I'm like, no. So it's while she was reprinting my key, I went and got some juice out of the little thing, and she's like, "You can just have it. You had a rough day." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." That, I mean, something as small as like a $6 drink, it helps out a little bit. So that like turned the whole weekend around, and then I was better because everything's on my phone. Like I was so lost, like I had no way to contact anyone. So I'm super glad to get my phone back. I've got all my pictures of my dog that passed away a couple years ago on my phone. That I stupidly haven't transferred over, so really excited to get it back. And from there on out, the whole weekend was great. Like that was pretty much the only bad part of the weekend. And I want to give a special shout out to Jeff, Texas Fish Room, and his wife, Jay Oliver's Guppies and his wife or girlfriend. I'm sorry, I don't remember if you're married or not, Jay Oliver. I think I saw you in here briefly. They were like super helpful. They were offering to help me get a new phone. Like the next day, they were going to drive me to the Verizon store, and they were like, everyone was there, was like super nice. Like the whole weekend, everyone was like, "Did you get your back? Did you get your phone back?" And that's kind of what I've missed about these conventions, are the people. Like honestly, I don't care about the vendors. I see it all the time. I don't really care about the fish. So at these big shows like this, there's no rare fish. It's all OB peacocks, angel fish for days, right? It's all the normals. I don't care about any of that stuff. It really made me realize how much I miss the people. So I'm already like ready to go back. Like Carrie, Science Gal Aquatics, and her husband, they do so much work for these shows. It was crazy. It was finally cool. It was cool to meet her. Mains, Tails, Ferns, and Fins, Jess, so many people. Thunder Aquatics, which I found out there's 2 Thunder Aquatics. Steve B, I'm sorry if I don't say your name, but I met so many people this weekend. It was so much fun. And of course, Alexander Engelhart with the cab fare. So that's actually not cab fare, Alexander Engelhart. I'm gonna tell you, when I got home, like, so I did something stupid, right? I couldn't find a ride to the airport, so I drove myself and I parked at the airport. 2 nights I was there, and it cost over $100 freaking to park at the airport. Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? But so yeah, that's parking fare, not cab fare, parking fare. The phone thing, that's on me. Like, but oh man, I was so mad. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I forget, $100 and some for 2 nights. I don't know if that's a SeaTac thing or if it's that expensive everywhere. But yeah, I was pretty mad. But yeah, so apparently there's 2 Thunder Aquatics, right? There's one Thunder Aquatics that sells his Apistos on Aquabid, and then there's Thunder Aquatics that this is kind of a funny story, that breeds Apistos but doesn't sell them on Aquabid. And so when Thunder Aquatics came on here, and I was like, "Oh man, dude, your Pistos are so good." He's like, he was telling me like, "How does he know I breed Apistos?" Like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. The Aquatic Morning Show says, "I was so happy to see you. Carrie and Jesse are rock stars." Yes. It was a lot of fun. Science Gal Aquatics says, "I'm definitely having one of those days today." Use the cloud. I don't use the cloud for anything. My degree and my background is in information system security. You'll never catch me putting anything of any value in the cloud at all. To me, that's just like, I mean, you've seen what happened to all these celebrities that put stuff in the cloud, right? Right. Never. I'll never do it. When you first showed up, I thought this Thunder Aquatics was the other one too. Well, so the Thunder Aquatics that breeds Apistos on Aquabid used to come to my streams, and so I just thought it was the same one the whole time. Jay Oliver's Guppies and Aquatics, like the nicest guy ever. I'm so happy to be able to have met you. They were like, I don't know if you clarified if it was your wife or girlfriend. It doesn't matter anyways. But they were like, "We'll take you to the Verizon first thing in the morning, get you a new phone." So that was very nice of them. Water change time. Any tips to get cichlids to move fry so I can clean that side of the tank? I wouldn't. I wouldn't, Nathan. Um, the fry are gonna eat on, or are going to graze on. I don't know if that side of the tank has detritus and algae. They're going to graze on all the microorganisms that live in that. So honestly, I would leave that there until they're actually big enough to like remove. I wouldn't clean it at all. What was the highlight? So the highlight was one, Alexander Eagleheart was there, so I got to walk around and spend a lot of time with him, which is just the dude's crazy. He bought $1,000 of raffle tickets and gave me a big stack to give away to everyone. So we were just handing out raffle tickets all day. Alexander, you're nuts, buddy. One of the highlights for me though was seeing Irene from Girl Talks Fish. She did her first ever talk and she blew it out of the water. It was so good. I would definitely travel to see her speak. Like I wouldn't go to like Australia or something, but like if she was relatively close, I would drive to see her. And she's just a really cool person in general. So I was really excited to be able to get to meet her. And Jeff from Texas Fish Room, super cool dude. And I got to hang out with, obviously, John again, which I haven't seen him in forever. Primetime Aquatics. After the events and where all the drinkers go and get drunk, we kind of go to a little corner in the hotel room and just kind of, BS all night. Super just laid back and fun. So that was really cool. It was nice seeing you in the wild. Thanks for the raffle tickets. Got my tire fixed. Okay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. She spoke before at another Aquashella. I asked Dean if it was her first talk, and she said yes. Or he said yes. I don't know. I either asked Dean or Zenzo, and one of them told me it was her first. Is Irene going to Fishtoberfest? I don't think any of the co-op crew is going to Fishtoberfest because Aquashella is the same weekend. And I'm sure they're all going to Chicago. Although Jimmy's not. Maybe we could talk Jimmy into going, right? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Jimmy will come down to Fishtoberfest. I think Irene is an engineer. She was an engineer. Maybe she used her special powers to make her presentation super awesome. Yeah, so she specifically said, like, she's so thankful that she doesn't have to do engineer work since she's got her dream job at the co-op. How was Dean's talk? So, I missed Dean's talk. I have, you hang around with Dean, you hear him talk. So, I wasn't too disappointed to miss Dean's talk. But I was kind of angry because he went when he wasn't supposed to go. So, one of the downfalls to Aquashella is they have the worst communication ever. Like they had guest speakers lined up that had no idea that they were speaking. Like, what? You never told me that. So a lot of stuff got mixed around, and I came down and I was like, standing there, I'm like, that sounds like Dean. Like he's not supposed to talk for another couple hours. As a matter of fact, I don't think he's supposed to talk till tomorrow. And someone was like, yeah, that's Dean. And I ran over there just in time to like hear him say, hey, thanks for coming to my talk. And I was like, I mean, I would have gone if I'd known. And like lots of people were pissed when Irene was giving her talk. They were like, is Dean next? Is he coming up? And I'm just like, he did his yesterday at like noon, like before the show even opened. So yeah, I talked to like 3 or 4 people that were pretty angry about missing Dean's talk, which I can understand because Dean's a pretty cool dude, right? So I missed his. I didn't see Corey's talk either because I mean I talk to Corey every day. I don't need to listen to him talk there. So when is Chicago Aquashella? It's October 8th and 9th or 9th and 10th, whatever that weekend is. Same as Fishtoberfest. The Aquatic Orange Shores. Dang, I missed Alexander Eagleheart. I would have loved to have met him. You saw him though. He was right next to me in the co-op line. So the co-op line, it took 45 minutes to get to the co-op booth. And I stood there with Alexander through the whole thing. And when it was our turn to go up there, I was like, oh my god, it's Corey from Aquarium Co-op, and I was like faking that I'm like total fangirling for him. But he was standing next to me when I was like petting your dog, so you saw him. You probably won't remember that you saw him, but you did see him. So I don't know why I thought that would at least help you, but I'm sure it didn't. Barbara says, hi, Jimmy. You got to go to Fishtoberfest. You're not going to Chicago. So, Barbara, are you going to Fishtoberfest then? Is that what that means? Oh, yeah. Jimmy's going to Thailand. I forgot. Eric, yes. Asked if I'm going to try to make it to more Aquashellas. So, if they do it in Orlando next year in February, or, I mean, whenever, I do want to go to Orlando. So when Rob asked me if I wanted to go to this one, I said I can't make it to this one. It's too soon. But if you're doing the one in Orlando next year in February, I can go to that one. And at the event, I asked him, I was like, so are they doing the Orlando show? And he's like, they haven't. He's like, I don't know. They haven't planned it yet. So there is a chance that it may not be there. Or there just may not be one. I've heard that it's very expensive to go there. Like I guess everything in Orlando is just really stupid expensive. So I don't know. When you walked up, yeah, like when you came in from outside with your puppy, like that, he was standing next to me. JL Evers Guppy says, I didn't realize that was Alexander that was hanging out with you. I swear he got recognized more than I did. Like people would just come up to him and be like, are you Alexander? Like, I think I had a few people, like, I'm not talking about YouTubers, but like civilians. I had a couple civilians come up to me, but I swear more people like came up to Alex. He's a bigger superstar than I am. Fish shows are awesome though, especially as a creator. I just go for the people, like Bob said. No matter how small or big, I enjoy them. Dang, I will be in Orlando in December on my way to Puerto Rico. Trish, Casey, M.O. It's good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Good to see you. I hope you can make that one too. I'm really looking to the Fishtoberfest show because that actually has like breeders and rare fish, not just OB peacocks and angelfish, like actual real stuff. I could have swore I just saw Bentley somewhere, but now I don't see your comment. Am I seeing things? I'm pretty sure Bentley is here. Now I don't see him. I swear I just saw Bentley, but maybe I didn't. Oh, right there. Triple Crown was great for that reason. I feel like Minneapolis makes way more sense than even Chicago. Well, I do like so it's in Schaumburg, so it's not really in Chicago. And the Schaumburg area is really nice. I do like it there. That's where they had the aquatic experience 2 years in a row, or like 3 or like 10 years in a row. I don't know. Leslie says, does anyone go by themselves? I have no friends in the hobby, and my husband couldn't care less. He does feed my pond fish, but he'd feed them like cattle. But oh yeah, a lot of people go. So that's kind of the great thing about these events, Leslie, is like we're all fish people. Like we're all the same. I mean, basically, you're surrounded by fish nerds, and you get to hang out with fish nerds, and you introduce yourself to some people. Like we had the dinner after the Saturday Aquashella, playing ping pong with people. I had no idea who they were, but we're playing ping pong with them, and so yeah. Slowly recovering from the malware. Yeah, I got lucky. When I had it, I had like a runny nose for a couple days, and I slept for like 3 days straight, and that was it. We have our Airbnb booked for Orlando already. Hope the dates line up. That's a gamble. That's a gamble. I don't know. I guess you could cancel Airbnbs. I don't know how they work. I've never done Airbnb. I've never done an Uber. Furloughs Aquatics says, Leslie, I went to Orlando by myself this summer. It was awesome. Eric, you actually made it into John's talk. He talked about his the 2 talks I went to. I think I only went to 2. I went to John's and I went to Irene's. I wasn't gonna miss Irene. And John's talk was about moving aquariums and how to make it easy, and basically he had nothing to talk about, so he just moved aquariums. So he's like, I'm gonna talk about this. But yeah, he gave you a big shout out. And Whip's World, which I haven't seen Whip's World around in forever. I don't know if I made him mad, but I haven't seen him around in a long time on my streams, but he used to come around pretty often. But anyways, yeah, I can't believe you guys drove like across country to help John move tanks. But yeah, absolutely go by yourself. So I saw your bid on breeding plecos, endlers, and shrimp. Instead of endlers, can I do killifish? It really depends on what kind of killifish. If you did like lamp-eye killifish, I could see that happening, but it would be more difficult. With endlers, you're gonna get a lot more margin for error. If that makes sense with like water parameters. When you're breeding that many species in one, you really have to keep an eye on water parameters. And endlers are definitely more robust in that area than killifish. But and killifish are not fragile, or lamp-eye killifish are not fragile by any means. But you definitely want to make sure you don't miss your water changes. Alexander Engelhart 4-0 on the ping pong. Yep, Alexander was killing everyone. I have Melanotania suhuluensis Skull Creek, like you got from Dan. I haven't got mine yet, but I will be getting some. My fish have orange, red, orange, orange fins. Dan said they have yellow fins. Are there different variations in the creek? Skull Creek should be the, I almost said white, yellow, and black, but only in their final form. So once they're full-grown adults, they should be yellow and black. There's quite a few different species of rainbows that will go through a few colors as they get older. And I've never kept the Skull Creek, so I'm not sure if that's one of them. Vibes Aquatics says, Bob's a pretty cool guy. I agree. Science Gal Aquatics says, I've gone alone and it's fantastic. Yeah, but see, you're a YouTuber, though, so you don't really... You might go alone, but you're not really alone when you're there, if that makes sense. But if you go to these events and you go to by yourself, just introduce yourself. Like, I mean, I'm kind of an introvert, extra. It's hard to describe. Like, I would much rather just be here by myself than out with people for the most part. But it's different when you're surrounded by like-minded people. Like, we all like fish. You could literally walk up to anyone and just start talking about fish. I mean, that's why we're there. So I wouldn't be worried about it at all going by yourself. And there's always get-togethers before and after. There's talks. There's plenty of situations where you can be like involved in like a group. Like, you could just hang out at the YouTube booth. Just don't be the lingerer, right? Don't be the guy that like stands right next to you and never says anything but just stares at you for the whole time. Like, don't be that guy. Like, you know, try to be somewhat social. Leo, welcome back, buddy. Welcome back. Bob, I was trying to make you feel welcome. Thanks, I appreciate it. Mine are full size, 3 inches. I can email you pictures if you're interested. Yeah, dude. I just said, yeah, dude, and your name is dude. Yeah, email me, steenfotaquatics@gmail.com. Lady Diane says, I enjoy going by myself. The one thing I would ask, like, if you go and if you actually want to meet me and do come up and say hello, if your YouTube name is different than your real name, at least tell me your YouTube name too, because I can't tell you how many times people come on here and like they'll come up to me like, hey, Joe Blow, I'm Joe Blow, I love your channel, you know, it's awesome. And then I come on YouTube and they're like Freshwater Aquatics 84, like that's their YouTube name. They're like, hey, it was good to meet you. And I'm like, I have no idea who you are, dude. Like, so if your YouTube name is different than your real name, at least tell me your YouTube name as well. Because if you're like regularly active in the chats or like leave lots of comments, I'm gonna recognize your name. I 100% plan on lingering around Bob now. Well, that's good, because you could, like, if you're lingering, then I'd be like, this is my bodyguard. Like, don't mess with me. Leo29 Aquatics says, can't wait till Fishtoberfest. What time does it start? It's a Friday to Sunday or Saturday and Sunday? It's Saturday to Sunday. I don't know what time it starts. And I'm driving there with 209 control. Ah, nice, nice. I'm not sure. Danikin was in the last stream last hour. I don't know if he's lurking here. I'm sure you'll find out before you go. But it almost, well, I shouldn't say that. I almost said, like, it doesn't matter when it starts. You can just go in. But no, don't do that. I don't want people just walking in there. But there's definitely the people that are like, I own this place. I'm gonna walk in whenever I want. And, you know, I mean, that's me. That's what I do. But like at Aquashella, I didn't have a badge. Like, I never went and got my badge. I don't care. I just walked in. Bodyguard, I'm the same size as you. Well, I know, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to be big to be a bodyguard. Look at Bruce Lee, right? What do you mean? My mama named me Freshwater. Unless you're adding very small killies into that mix, I'm not sure the shrimp will survive if putting them. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, lamp eye killifish would be good for that. But you're gonna want, going back to breeding killifish with shrimp and plecos, you're gonna want, I would highly recommend lots of floating plants, maybe some guppy grass, just something that's gonna provide lots of cover for your fry. Amateur Aquatic Addiction says, hi Bob, just working and lurking here in Australia. For almost everyone that comes for the event, there is at least one person just there because of that person. I agree, yeah. Shanna, I know, but I call her Shanna. Says, I would 100% get there Friday night. Yeah, I'll be there Friday night. And I think Danny might be going too. So if you want to meet Danny, she might be there as well. No guarantees. I haven't got 100% confirmation, but I know she put in for the time off, so she might be going. Email has been sent. Okay, I'll look at it right now. I will look at it right meow. Oh yeah. Yep. See, it's got the yellow and black. Yeah, so the red on the tips, like, don't worry about that. It's the black vertical stripes with the white and black on the fins. The red, as it gets older, it's probably going to lose a lot of that red. I'd be surprised if it stays there for like years. Okay, hold on. Lost my chat. Lingering might make me look like a Steenfott groupie. So I myself have never had a lingerer, but I know other creators that have, and it's so awkward. Like, just say something, talk, do something. At least say, you know, I'm not very comfortable in large crowds and I'm just kind of hanging out. You know, at least say that. But the people that just come up and stand there and like stare at you, like, that's really like awkward. And like, what are your intentions? I don't know. Are you like getting ready to stab me 12 times over something I said 2 years ago on my live stream? I don't know. Danny sent me video ideas for my TikTok the other day. Nice. So that's in then. We will all linger around Bob and stare uncomfortably. Well, it doesn't count if I know who you are. Like, that doesn't work. Then I know you're just trolling me and I don't care. I'd recognize you, Zen. Ginger stand out. Well, we actually discovered last week that Zen Ginger is a catfish. And she's not even a woman. It's actually a dude. So you may not recognize him. How about just smile really creepy, like from across the room? Is that better? Yeah, because then at least I don't have to look at you. Like if you're standing right next to me. Yeah, Thunder Aquatics makes a great point. You make so many friends there, and the fish fam makes you feel right at home. There's so many nice people there. It's I don't know. It's lots of really nice people there. It's the best. Yeah, I don't know how else to say it. Lots of nice people there. And you're always gonna be glad you met them. I can't think of one person that I met where I was like, oof, I wish that didn't happen, or I wish that guy didn't come. As far as like, you know, sure, there's been other creators where like, whatever, I don't care that he's here, but for like the people, like I've never had somebody come up and introduce themselves, and I was never like, oh, I wish he didn't come. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. Maybe not. Is sea champ fluorite gravel the sand one? Not the sand one. Too sharp for corridoras. So Josh, you're gonna say you're definitely gonna have the people that say yes, and then you're gonna have the people that say I've done it and it's not. So I've used fluorite with corridoras, Eco Complete with corridoras, and I'm not gonna say it's never caused issues. I've definitely seen their barbells ground down, but not like all the way. And it's not like permanent. It's just like, okay, maybe they tried too hard last night at trying to get to that little flake under that sharp rock. Like maybe they shouldn't have dug around that much. But it's nothing like their face is like just shredded. It's never that bad. It's definitely nice to talk about CPDs and not need to explain what that means. Yeah, you could actually talk about fish stuff with fish people. And one, people aren't going to look at you like a psycho. Like, I got 30 fish tanks in my house. Like if I go down like somewhere local, if I go to the wherever the local hotspot is and be like, I got 30 aquariums, I got some reptiles, I got a bin full of bugs, and I'm growing worms. Like, no one's gonna talk to you. But you go do that at a fish convention, everyone's gonna talk to you. Vibes Aquatics says, don't forget to smash the like button. I agree. I'm not even checking likes. But I appreciate it if you're liking. Brillo's Aquatics, I agree. He says, Carrie from Science Gal is one of the most awesome people to meet there. Made me feel right at home my first trip there. Yeah. Her never-ending energy just blows me away. Like, she's bouncing off the walls at 10 in the morning, and she's bouncing off the walls at 10 at night. And she says that she's tired and worn out, but she's still zipping around everywhere. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know how she does it. I tell people I have 15 tanks, and they look at me like I'm a complete psycho. And I love it. Fifth spawn from my betta macrostroma 3 days ago at Dragonlair. Have not seen the male since. I think my snail or my small additions of aldercone water might have resulted in successful spawn. Nice. People look at me like I have 3 heads when I say I have 7 tanks, let alone 30. Lady Diane says Carrie is perfect. Well, let's not forget her husband, right? I mean, that dude does a lot of work too. We can't forget about him. Best icebreaker ever. What kind of tank you have? I don't like that one. If I go up to someone and I'm like, so, what kind of tank you have? And they're like, oh man, I got this sweet Oscar tank. I'm like, I'm out. I'm going home. I'm flying home immediately if that's your go-to. Oscars? Carrie says, pure adrenaline and excitement. People's faces when I tell them how many reptiles I have is the best ever. See, like when I had tons of reptiles, I didn't get the weird looks, but you know, I was also a kid, so maybe they were just being polite. Well, they were back then people were actually polite, so maybe they were just being polite. I don't know how it would go over now. That's basically what my Tinder profile says, though. I've got 30 aquariums, 12 reptiles, bins full of bugs. I'm growing multiple species of worms. And, you know, my name on Tinder is I Got Worms. It's what fish do you keep for me? I mean, yeah, I mean it's really that easy. I'm kidding about Oscars, obviously, but it's really that easy. Super easy. Who to believe, Bob? Who's on? Oh, it's about. Hey man, we busted her in the member stream 2 weeks ago. All right. People here I have 15 tanks and they ask me how much I charge for a tour of mini SeaWorld. See, I've gotten those too. Like before I moved, when my neighbor found out, he actually found out because I opened the blinds one night, and like you could just see in my fish room and see all the fish. And this was back when all my tanks were planted and they looked really cool. And he was like, "Hey, can I bring my daughter in? She sees your tanks through the windows." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, come on in." And I would always get people walking up and down the streets, especially in the summertime, because I'd actually open my blinds and windows and flush all my water out into my lawn. And I was in one of these neighborhoods where the houses are like 2 feet apart, so there's like 1,000 people in the neighborhood walking by, and they would always look in, and some of them found out through the neighborhood watch group, thought we were like, you know, growing drugs in there because of how bright it was all the time, and you really couldn't see in, but you could see the bright light. So I think some of them were kind of relieved, but there was definitely people that wouldn't talk to me before then, but then once they found out, they would actually talk to me. So. So it would be awesome to have people I love talking about them. Just don't be dumb like me and try to tell Bob and Alexander to use stock tanks as ponds. Embarrassing. Should have known who I was talking to. Peter, I use stock tanks as ponds though. Like, I remember you got your 100 gallon stock tank. It was really fun. Like I said, I'm already jonesing to go to another place, but I was trying to figure out where to go in September, but I forgot that I'm going in for surgery at the end of the month, so I can't travel in September at all. But I think once that's over and I've recovered from that, I really think I'm going to try to go somewhere like once a month. That's going to be my goal. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I don't know if there's enough events. I feel like there's enough events in California alone. Like what? There's like 100, at least. Like I feel like there's 100 aquarium clubs in California that I could go to. And you know, it only costs like $1 to fly there. At least it used to. Hoon Aquatics, Ryan, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome to the Dream Team. And Ginger Grumble. Oh man, Hoon Aquatics, you were 5 seconds too early. You could have got a free one here. Ginger Grumble gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Lily is lurking. Freshwater. Peter, look at the lurkers. I know you're not lurking, but so I gotta start planning for November. Although I really don't like flying in the winter. There's always too many complications flying in the winter. You know, weather delays. So maybe I'll just be a fair weather monthly traveler, like maybe from like November to like well, I guess the Orlando would be the end of February. So yeah, November, December, January, maybe I won't travel unless I can drive. Are there good events in Canada, Josh? I have no idea. There was oh no, it got canceled. There was a huge event supposed to happen in 2020, like a huge rainbow convention, but it was canceled. Obviously, the world was shut down. And then the nice thing about that was like all these rare rainbows that everyone was breeding to bring to this huge event, they all ended up on Aquabid. So I didn't even have to travel to a different country to get these super rare rainbows. So that was nice. Paul says, I have 2 hobbies, gardening and fish keeping, and people's eyes glaze over when I get into the weeds talking about either one of them. I have reptiles and tortoises. What's up, Bob? Just got off work. Unholy orders. What's going on, buddy? Thomas says, flagfish, pea puffers, endlers, plecos, tetras, apistos, question mark. I don't know what your question is. Hopefully it's not, can I put all those in the same tank? I mean, you could, but your flagfish might cause some problems. Carlos says, so I'm going to try to replicate your 20 high breeding tank, but should I do guppies instead of endlers, or does it... as far as like the ease or how difficult it is, it's not going to matter if it's guppies or endlers. What I would do is find out, if you can, what sells better in your area. Guppies are pretty dang popular and are usually a safe bet, but you can actually get into endlers and try to sell them, and people don't know what they are, and then you have to explain, well, they're pretty much guppies. But if you're selling online, it's not going to be a problem at all. Josh says, oh, sick! I just noticed. Thanks for the memberships. Yep, we do the members live stream an hour before this stream every Monday, from 3:45 to 4:45 p.m. PST. Whew. Forget flying. Flights are being canceled all over the place. That's why I only fly Alaska. I've never had a flight canceled from Alaska. I've had atrocious experiences with American Airlines, with Delta, with United, like absolutely awful experiences with them. So it's Alaska for me, or possibly JetBlue, because I don't think they've killed anyone. So Alaska has never killed anyone and has never really crashed. JetBlue has crashed but has never killed anyone. All the other guys have killed lots of people. Sorry, Gina, I was replying to Zen Ginger's answer about why fish won't eat human food. I bet goldfish would. Some dude says, I finished setting up a 100-gallon stock tank to breed my Rhinocentris ornatus series creek. That's a good one. I mean, they're all good, let's be honest. A long time ago, I mentioned that I'd give you some fry. Are you still interested? Yes. Yes. Especially if you're throwing in the word give. Like, I would buy them, but if you're giving them, yes, I need a Rhinocentris so bad. I don't care what the collection point is, what creek they're out of. I mean, that's the same thing, but yes. I have one strain of Rhinocentris right now. They're not Siri Creek, so that is perfect. Obviously, I won't put them in the same tank. They'll go straight outside into a tub. I need to get them. I want to breed them, and I want to breed them in mass quantity, and then I want to give them to Dan's Fish to sell. And because I think Rhinocentris should be way more popular in the hobby. So if I breed them, I'm going to sell them to Dan super cheap so that he can sell them for super cheap. Just like when he sends me the Aspidoras, I want to breed the crap out of those so I can sell them back to him super cheap so he can sell them super cheap. Any suggestions? Need an out-of-the-box shelving unit for 220 longs. Want to stack them. I would just go to your whatever your local like Home Depot, Lowe's, home improvement store and see what they got. They got to have something. Any of those like Tough branded, or I don't even know what all the brands are, but any of those, as long as it's not like the flimsy metal, I don't know what they're called, but there's those flimsy racks that are really flimsy and people put tanks on them, but I don't trust them. I would do like the beefy, but there's like ones that are like 36 inches wide. Perfect. There are no good airlines anymore. Customer service is almost completely dead. See, I disagree. I've had the best customer service with Alaska. Like, I've gotten free first class upgrades, free premium upgrades. I think they're really good, but maybe I'm just getting lucky, knock on wood. I love Alaska. And it's not just because I own stock in Alaska. Rico Stan, what's going on, buddy? Says, Alexander, I was up most of the night last night trying to come up with the song. It's your fault. So, yeah, Alexander is trying to get Rico Stan to do a whole song. My goldfish try to eat my fingers when I'm in the tank cleaning. I'm not even really sure that they have a brain. They have a small brain. Actually, I think they have quite a large brain compared to like other fish. I could be wrong, and I probably am, but I think they do. Oh, that's not what I should have drank. Oh, man. Hold on. I forgot to put my drink mix in my water. And so when I make this big jug, I put 2 different drink mixes in it. And I forgot to put the second one in, and it's so watered down and it tastes bad. But I put this stuff in here. This is really good for, like, if you're gonna travel. I highly recommend drinking this stuff. I always load up on it before, during, and after I travel. Really good. Freshwater Dreaming says the Home Depot cheap metal racks work. I had a 4-tier loaded with 20 longs and 6 10s. Okay. Zengender says, I got some extreme goldfish flakes and they look so stupid chasing them. I will say, so meeting Irene and seeing her talk was like the highlight person that I was really excited to meet. But I also met the owners of Extreme, and I got to sit there and talk to him for a little bit and his wife, and so I was pretty excited about that too, to finally meet them. Really nice people. And you know what's funny? At least I think it's funny, is multiple times when I was there, I don't know how many times, but it was more than it was more than I would have liked. Not that it's anything bad, but I want to at least a half a dozen times someone said, you know, I like your fish videos, but I really like your camping videos. When are you gonna make another one? And the reason I remembered that is because that is exactly what the owner of Extreme said. He's like, you know, your fish videos are nice, but I really like your camping videos. When are you going to do more of those? I was just like, 6 times, at least 6 times I heard that. I'm late, so at Steenfott Aquatics, did you talk about it? I don't know what it is, but if it's the it that you're talking about, no, because this is a family-friendly stream. If it's an it that I don't think is what you're talking about, then yes, I think I've talked about everything. Is that immune mixed flavored? Yeah, it's just some like random berry flavor. Like, I mean, that's what it says, berry. I don't know what kind of berries. It's got raspberries and on it, but yeah, I don't know. There's no caffeine, which I like, and it's not sweetened with. I think it's sweetened with stevia. I could be wrong, but it's not sweetened with the one that causes cancer, which I like. I literally ripped the right where it says that, so I can't see. Maybe this. I might be wrong. What's it sweetened with? Oh, sucralose. Yeah, never mind. Not much better. But it doesn't have any food coloring in it, which is nice. You know, the little orange ball. I have no idea what you're talking about. The little orange ball. I have no idea. The camping videos are so well done. Cinematography and shots are artistic and beautiful, but the content is fun and not stuffy. 5 stars. Yep. That was Triple Crown, not Aquashella. Oh, the plants are looking awesome. Yep. I'm pretty close to taking these 2 big ones in the fish room, though, so I'll have to replace them with something. But yeah. This one's definitely my favorite, the Mycans. I forget what this one is. And then this one I came back and it has mushrooms in it. So I spun it around. All the big leaves are in front here, but I spun it around so you can see the mushrooms. Not that you can see them. Although I watered them and now they're dying. Like, I don't know. Can I get it closer to the camera? So I watered it and now they're all shriveling up. That doesn't make any sense to me. But these leaves are looking good over here. So now I can turn it around. Looks more full now. Yeah. The camping videos are well. I mean, Jimmy does such a. If it wasn't for Jimmy, no one would watch that channel. I'm not like even like remotely like obviously, right? I'm not fooling anyone there. That's all Jimmy there. I've gone camping by myself and I've filmed it, and it's the worst stuff you've ever seen in your life. So a huge shout out to Jimmy. He makes those videos what they are. You should eat those on stream right now, Bob. Well, mushrooms don't last long. Yeah, I was surprised. Like, it was twice that size when I got back yesterday. It's okay. I'll make sure to talk about it in my stream. The orange ball. I don't know, man. Oh, the ping pong? Yeah, we talked about that in the member stream. I didn't want to embarrass you in public, but if you want me to embarrass you in public, I will. You can talk about it on your stream. I totally went over my head. Like that's how interesting that was. You're welcome. I'll let you know when they're ready. I'm giving them to you as a thank you for your help in videos. I was eventually going to sell them to Dan after local sales. Those mushrooms only last a couple days above ground. I know nothing about mushrooms. There was these ones that were like, I'm not kidding, basketball size last fall. It was crazy how big they were. But yeah, they only lasted like a week. Paul says, I took all the sample food packs I picked up at the Triple Crown, threw them all in a container, shook well, and the fish go nuts over it. Definitely not eating those. I mean, I don't even like mushrooms. Like, even if they were ones that you could eat, I still wouldn't eat them. Like, I don't know. Well, it's not that I don't like mushrooms. It's just they don't taste like anything. So I don't understand the point of mushrooms. It's like lettuce. Like, lettuce tastes like water. Like, why would I put lettuce on anything? It's just a waste. I would rather fill my giant gut with good food, not inert food. Finally got top of the cellular device, and now I'm actually inspired to fill my tanks. Oh, top of the line cellular device. What species is in your thumbnail? I knew someone was gonna ask, and I was gonna look it up, but I didn't. I know what it is, but I don't. If that makes sense. It's a Telethrina, but let me get the exact one for you. You can click that link right here and go and look. Boom. This is where they are for sale, but I'll find them for you right here. Actually, I don't even know if they're listed yet. I should be doing this so you can see it, but I'm lazy. Where's that? Where's that? Where they at? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Oh, they're not even on the website yet, so I lied. All right. I want to look up there because there's a couple different species, and I don't want to get them mixed up. Let me look at my files here. Go to videos. That's not it. Here we go. Go to rainbow fish. And it is a... Well, that doesn't help. I think it's this one. I think it's the hold on. Nope, not that one. Is it this one? Nope, not that one. Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. Hold on. It is... Where are you at? Oh my gosh. I just look it up on Instagram. This is like the biggest fail I've had in a long time. Let's go to my Instagram where I stole the picture from. Here it is. Telmatharina saracinorum. Holy smokes. I will spell that out for you because I know I didn't pronounce it right. Saracinorum. Oh my gosh, did I spell it right? Telmatharina saracinorum. There you go. Holy smokes. That was a chore. Why don't I have it labeled correctly in my files? Hopefully I got it right in the video. Oops. Killed my chat again. Alright. Zane says, Bob, I'm so glad you got to go to the Shella. Me too. Me too. Fish Dreams. What's going on, Marty? Good to see you. I have Bardstale Goldens. Oh, duh. Golden Retrievers. Should have looked at your profile picture first. I have a dwarf snowball pleco. Never see him eat. Is there an easy way to check if he is getting enough food? He doesn't look too skinny. That's how you check. You just look at his gut. It's hard to explain what to look for. But if the gut, let's see what I can do. If the gut is like sunken in, so like this side is his gut, then you know he's not eating. But if this side is his gut and it's like sticking out, then you know he's eating. So as long as it doesn't look like it's sunken in, you're doing okay. But if it looks like you're going across, and his gut is like that and going across, if it looks like it's sunken belly, then he's not eating, and that's when you need to be concerned. Lettuces for salad. I don't even know why you would put it in salads. Like, it's literally nothing. It tastes like nothing. You're basically just eating water. Lettuce is all about texture. A sandwich is not a sandwich without it. No way. Get that out of my meat and cheese, man. I don't need that rabbit food in there. Josh says, don't forget to hit the like button, everyone. I agree. I agree. Do not forget to hit the like button. Oh, I do want to show you something on Dan's Fish. And this is absolutely a shameless plug to get you to click on that link, but it's also not. Humpty Dumpty, where are we at? Here we go. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go here because these fish were just listed on the website. There's only 6 available, and if you are interested in plecos, don't sleep on this one. These L450s look so good in person, and they're only $50, which is insane to me. I thought this was at least a $100 pleco when I was doing the tour. There's only 6. These look really good. You will not be disappointed with these fish. And I noticed, thanks for this fancy button right here that I'm not going to take credit for, but it was kind of my idea. I noticed that they were just listed. So, if you're a pleco person, also my favorite pleco, the L264, is on here now. So there you go. Pea puffers are back. A few of those. The one Lee. That's not how you pronounce it, but that's how I say it because that's what it looks like. Melanotania 1 Lee. Pretty cool too. Oh. And what was the other one on here? Yeah, if you really want to go nuts and spend a lot of money, the CW 153s. I'm telling you. I'm doing a dedicated video on these, and they're pretty rad, just saying. So, if you just got for some reason, if you just got your tax refund in August, get yourself a school of those. Breed them and become a millionaire. It's that easy to become a millionaire. Buy those, breed them, sell them. It's that simple, my friends. Jeff H with the 11.11, $11.11. Thank you. Says, howdy fish people, planning a 210-gallon community tank. That's pretty rad. Pretty sweet. General and carbonite hardness is on the high end. Will rainbows tolerate that? Absolutely. Hope to meet you in Chicago. I'm not going to Chicago. However, next year, I do want to go to Chicago. So I'm pretty sure we can avoid this scheduling conflict of having 2 shows on the same weekend next year. I'm hoping we can somehow figure that out, and by we I mean the people that put on the shows. Because I do want to go to Chicago. Because Carrie from Science Gal Aquatics says the Chicago one is the best one to go to. Tax refund. I have to pay. I have to pay too. I feel your pain. K-Stew, you're my man, dude. It says potato chips have crunch too. I absolutely put chips in my sandwich just for the crunch. Like I said, I don't need that lettuce crap in there. Get me some chips in there. Oh man, it's so good. So yeah, this year the Chicago Aquashella is the same year as Fishtoberfest. I'm going to Fishtoberfest. Next year I do want to go to Chicago just based on what Carrie was saying, Science Gal Aquatics. Keystone Clash is the next event. Can't wait. I would like to go to that one someday too. I've heard a lot of good things about that one. Especially if you're going, Rico. I hope. Did you get your video? We made a special little video just for Rico. Well, I photobombed it. I didn't make it. I just crashed someone else's video. Iceberg basically has the nutritional value of water too. Like my water, like my tap water, that's basically RO water, right? If you're in like Florida or Texas, somewhere where there's actually minerals in the water, then your lettuce has less nutritional value. Lettuce is food that food eats. That is 100% accurate. Hold on, sorry. Chicago is the best one. I thought Dallas was the bigger one. So Dallas is the bigger one, right? But size isn't always better. All right. More people go to Dallas, but she said that Chicago is the better one because you go to Aqualand. There's like all these other places you go in Chicago, and I would like to go to Aqualand because it seems like a pretty sweet place. So yeah, Dallas is definitely the biggest one, but Chicago is the funnest one. You sent the video to Rico as soon as we filmed it. Sweet. When is the clash? I don't even know. I'm guessing this month or next month. Just guessing. I'm sure someone will say. I can look it up. Keystone Clash 2022, September 23rd through the 25th in Morgantown, PA. Never heard of Morgantown before, but I have heard of PA. Only good thing about Texas are the freeway signs that now read now leaving Texas. I didn't think it was that bad. I don't know that I would like. I don't think I could live in Dallas. It's way too big. Fishy Biz Aquatics says, "Hey Bob, heard you're no longer a ping pong champ." That's not even close to being true. I was even in the middle of a stream, but Steven made me watch. Nice. Freshwater dreaming. What about booses? Guppy Shack says, "Thanks, Bob." But you're welcome. I don't know for what, but you're welcome. I'm sure the water in Chicago will be less unbearable, or the weather. Hopefully the water too. The water in Dallas, at least in the hotel, was awful. Like, I haven't tasted water that bad since I stayed on the coast. It was, oh man, it was gross. Just south of Reading, PA. Where is it in relation to Scranton? If I go to Keystone Clash, am I going to be able to go to Scranton? Not what I heard. John has a different story. So, if we want to talk about ping pong, we can. John and I played, and he makes up these crazy rules that are not official ping pong rules at all. And I was like, fine, we can play by your rules. I don't really care. And I was up 5-1. I was up 10-5. I was up 15-10. I was up like 20-16. And I let him come back every single time. Like, I don't know what else there is to talk about. I didn't even move my feet at all. I stood planted the whole game. Didn't even move. So if John thinks he got my best game, then he is gravely mistaken. But I was glad to let him win. I wasn't going to say it. I was going to let him, you know, I was going to let him have his day in the sunshine. But if he's already talking smack, then I got to lay down the truth of how it really went down. I don't like getting big leads on someone and making them feel bad. Not to mention that the ping pong table, was the worst ping pong table I've ever seen in my life. The paddles were basically just pieces of plywood. I could have done just as well using my phone. But, you know, that's how it went down. And it's absolutely true, because afterwards, John even went to Corey and was like, Bob didn't move at all. Does he ever move when he plays you? Like, if that's not a sign that I'm not giving it my all, I don't know what is. Like, as soon as I was up 5-1, I was like, all right. All right. Like, I don't need it. I don't need to embarrass him in front of everyone. That's what I get for trying to be a nice guy, though. I should have just, like, they played a 21. Like, that's not official rules. Who plays a 21? Like, I don't know. And then he was crying about my serves. He's like, because he couldn't hit my serves. So he's like, you can't serve like that. That's illegal. That's not a legal serve. Because he couldn't hit him, man. I was getting aces. And he couldn't hit him. And I was like, fine. I'll serve however you want me to serve. I'll serve. And I'd still get aces. And he would still be like, oh, your serves. Didn't complain about anyone else serving the same way. Only me. And finally, when he was playing someone else, I'm like, he's literally serving the same way, or serving the same way as me. John said to me, he literally said to me, like, yeah, but it's not you. It doesn't matter. That's him. He can serve however he wants. So, you know. Actually, the official ping pong champ was Alexander Engelhart. I think he was undefeated. I didn't play him. But, like, ask Corey the quality of this table and ping pong paddles. It was absolutely awful. Now, that being said, I will say John is a lot better than I thought he would be. So, like, I'll give him credit where credit is due. Like, he's definitely a lot better than I thought he would be. Table tennis games are to 11. Yeah, absolutely. And then they had this crazy rule that you swap serves after 5 points. You swap serves, which that's not official rules. Like, I realize people think that's how you play, but that's not how you play. That's not the official rules. Texas Fish Room says table was trash. Like, I've never played at a table where you could hit the ball under the net. Like, the netting was shredded. You could literally hit the ball under the net. The net was, like, sloped, like, actually sloped, like 2 inches higher on one side than the other. And I tried to push it down, but you couldn't, because it was broken. You can't throw the ball backwards when you serve. Yep, I wasn't throwing it backwards. Yep, and you can't swing up when you serve, because that's, like, the amount of spin you can put on a ball if you hit upwards, it's almost unreturnable. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't sneak that in every once in a while. But hey, man, you got to every once in a while. I always switch after 5. What do you swap after 5 is when games is to 21. But so here's the thing, is John swore to me up and down, like, these are the official rules. I watched ping pong in the Olympics. They play to 21. They swap after 5. And I'm like, no, they don't. I even brought up the rules on my phone. The official U.S. ping pong team has rules listed on their website. It's not the rules. But either way. What? Oh, sure, if the table was an inch or lower, then... Oh, yeah, the table was really low, too. Which was really weird. I've never played on a table that low. I may or may not have eaten barbecue with the Garden of Eater fam last year. Barbecue was really good, but again, I come from Seattle or Washington, where all barbecue is awful here. There's no good barbecue. So, the locals, Texas Fish Room, you know, they assured me it was good. So I gotta say it was good. Compared to the barbecue here, it was outstanding. Like, the brisket was so good. I know more about table tennis than I ever thought I would. So, to be honest, like, when Corey and I play, we don't play by the official Olympic rules either. I mean, we do play to 11, but we play like street ball. Like, there's the NBA, and then there's street ball and street ball rules. Like, it's way more hardcore. That's how we play. We want it to be a challenge. And so this namby-pamby, you know, rule stuff, you know, it's no holds bars when we play, because we want it to be hard. We don't want this easy back and forth. I mean, you see them when they play ping pong, like, their volleys, they last like 10 minutes. They're just back and forth, because it's so easy. Like, no one could do that. Get out of here. If Corey and I went on the U.S. team, it would basically be like 90s NBA dream team going and playing against the rest of it. It just wouldn't be fair. It just wouldn't. So, you know, we got better things to do. Best Texas and barbecue is the Bass. I already butchered that word. Bastrop area of Texas. If nobody loses an eye, can it even be called ping pong? Once the ball is thrown up, and it has to be, you only have to throw it 6 inches. And I think this is where John may be confused, because you only have to toss it up 6 inches. Now, when you're watching, some people throw it up taller. Not me. I'm just like, as soon as it's there, boom, I'm serving you an ace right away. Anyways, is using a potato gun to serve legal? It would be. Like, we don't need all these sissy rules when Corey and I play. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Corey and I, we're definitely the dream team, for sure. We, in doubles play, we could beat anyone. There's not even a like, I don't even know that there's anyone on earth that could even get me out of bed to want to compete against. The Slick Pig and what is with these town names? Murfreesboro, Murfreesboro, Tennessee is the best bar around. Murfreesboro. All right. I never knew ping pong could get so heated. I so want, like, and this is the last thing I'll say. Anybody who wants to come to my home court and play ping pong, bring it on. Now, unfortunately, my home court is at Corey's house, so we have to ask permission, but, you know. Champion of the night was a second floor handrail. I'm telling you, so the ping pong table is on the second floor, and there is a handrail with like 4 bars that go across, probably like, I don't know, maybe like 6-8 inches apart. Somehow that thing blocks every ball from going on the first floor. It is crazy. When we started playing, we're like, who's gonna be the retriever here? Someone's gonna have to live down there and throw the ball back up to us. But I think once, maybe twice, it went over, and it's every single time it stopped it from going through. It's pronounced Murfreesboro. Murfreesboro. Oh, man. Anyways, that's all I'm going to talk about ping pong. I'm sure John will tell you a different story, but that's exactly how it happened. And, you know, if he, I'll tell you what, if he wants to get a ping pong table, I'll go to him. I'll go to him. Where am I at here? All right. We're back. We only lost about 20 people on the ping pong talk, so that's all right. Kyle Morrison, you really went to Aquashella? Yep, I really did. Then there's lots of people that can prove that. I would watch a live Fishtober ping pong tournament. Just saying, it's here. Yeah. So one of the reasons we haven't done a live ping pong is that it does get pretty competitive, and there's some moments that might not be family friendly when we play. So we would definitely need like Jimmy on there with the bleep button for when things get a little heated. And it's not even when it gets heated. It's just the way, like, when you make a stupid mistake, then you may say something that's not YouTube appropriate. Oh, new local Austin, man, the life of the show, the party of the show. Yeah, it was good to meet you too, new local Austin. I was supposed to go to this one, but plans got changed for me. I wasn't supposed to go to it, and plans got changed for me. Every time I go to Murfreesboro, Boro, I already forgot. There's a wreck going and a wreck coming back. Just need to get one of your sponsors so you don't need YouTube. Yeah, I agree. Vandalay Industries might do it. They've done it before. YouTube appropriate? Are you talking about you again? Yeah, Liquid Zoo. Always talking about you. Take up. I have no idea what that is. Paul, I have no. I actually have to Google that. I have no idea what you're talking about. A sport belonging to the Bowlies family, developed into its present form in Italy. It is closely related to British bowls and French something. That tells me nothing of what this game is. This is like bowling on grass? Is that what it is? How's it pronounced? Bocce? Bocce? Where's the Wikipedia here that's going to tell me how to pronounce it? Oh, that doesn't help at all. I need some phonetical spelling of this word. Vandalay Industries, did George Costanza make CEO it? No, he got fired a long time ago. You want to hear a funny story? This is how, for anyone who believes John about how ping pong went down, let me tell you this story. I think it was the day before I left, or maybe the day before, I messaged John and told him that I was coming. Told him that I got a sponsor to come out there. This would be 2 days beforehand. And he's like, who is it? You know what? I'm even going to read this conversation. Just so you know. Just so you know who to listen to here. Let me go back to John's conversation here. Where is he at? Here he is right here. All right. He hasn't even read my response yet. Where is it at? Oh, so I told him I was coming. He didn't believe me. He said I was full of poop, not using those words. So I sent him my receipt of my airfare, and I said, kind of keep it on the down low. I'm gonna come and crash the party. And he said, that's awesome. And I said, I got my own sponsor to pay for it. And he said, Dan from Dan's Fish. I said, no, Vandalay Industries. He says, who is that? I said, they make latex products. I said, I'm not sure I'm getting from the hotel to the airport, but I'm thinking I'm staying at the Renaissance Hotel. And he's like, yeah, just get an Uber. He asked me where I'm flying into. I said, Dallas Love. He's like, yeah, just get an Uber, super easy. Of course I didn't. I should have, because I wouldn't have lost my phone. Okay, so that was August 3rd. Let's fast forward. We're still talking. Now it's August 4th. It's late at night. He says, I finally figured out the Vandalay Industries bit, by the way, and then he had some, you know, not YouTube appropriate words for me. And then I left him a voice message, which he hasn't read yet. So that's, you're gonna listen to that guy about how ping pong went down. The only guy in the entire fish family that fell for my sponsor bit, John at KG Tropicals. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, are we losing a Ginger? Ginger Grumble says, good night all. Thanks, Ginger, for stopping by, and thanks for the 5 gifted subs. It's only 6:30. What are you going to bed for? Bocce? B-O-C-C-E is bocce. All right. It's Italian lawn bowling. You know we like to talk trash. Isn't that... So that's like is it croquet? Is that like croquet without a mallet? Why do I feel like that's not the word I'm looking for? So yeah, I mean, do with that information as you want. Literally the only person to fall for my sponsor bit. Regina Phalanges, wasn't that a Seinfeld reference? Yep. That's exactly. Vandalay Industries. It's a made-up industry on Seinfeld, or a made-up company on Seinfeld. I wonder if John's still here. He's still here. He's listening, right? He's got to be fuming. John, you got to be fuming right now. Literally. The only one out of hundreds that fell for it. Oh, man. So, yeah. Who doesn't know George Costanza? George can't stand ya. Exactly. And this is John, mind you. John, who brings up every single movie and show reference under the sun. Like Cray-America Industries. Yeah. Oh, man. Alice B says, it's okay, John. I believed him too. Okay. Okay. Oh, Thursday is going to be fun. I'm sure it's going to go. I'm sure he's going to dig me way worse. Fish Tank Barn with the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. We have a super nice indoor bocce place near me. It's like curling with marbles and grass. I don't know. I've never heard of bocce before. It's new to me. All right. A Festivus for the rest of us. Hey, at least I learned something new today. I hope you all learned something new in this stream. Oh my gosh, it's already been an hour and 40 minutes. That's crazy. I need that copy of Tropic of Capricorn back. Am I still going on John and Lisa's stream? Probably not now. Probably never again. No, so I was, if you don't know, obviously John was gone last Thursday for their stream, and Lisa messaged me and asked if I would come and co-host with her since John was gone, but then Lisa wasn't feeling well, so they just canceled the whole stream. So I was supposed to go on with Lisa, but yeah, unfortunately, I think she's feeling better now, but it was a no-go for last Thursday. And I'm pretty sure John will be back in town on Thursday, and I guarantee you he wants some payback, so I'm sure he'll be there. All right, back to fish. Hero Shot Aquatics says, hey Bob, I really want to breed my chili rasboras. I have 20 now, but I like 50 or so. I heard they lay a lot fewer eggs than most rasboras. Any ideas? Yes. So they're just egg scatters, but you're going to need to make sure you have something to feed them. They're very, very tiny, super duper tiny. And if you get them to spawn, it won't take you long to get to 50. As long as you're able to get them, first of all, you need to make sure there's nothing in the tank that's going to eat their eggs, including the adults. So how do you keep your adults from preying on the eggs? You can get like bins and put gravel in it. So you get yourself like a, I don't know, I don't really have anything to compare it to. Get yourself like a plastic container, put a screen over it, put some rocks in there, and they'll scatter the eggs. They'll fall through the screen, and then you can just actually remove the eggs completely out and raise the fry up in a separate tank. Or if you want to breed them with fish in the tank, then you need lots of moss, lots of dense plants, basically, because you're gonna need, one, a place for the eggs to fall to where they won't get eaten, and two, a place for the fry to hide. So if you get through all those challenges, then you need really, really small food. So you need to start some live culture and get them started on live foods. John the Surfright guy says, I'm excited to try and breed the bloodcap moon tetras. Very excited for these fish. Yeah, they look, have you gotten them yet? If not, they look way better in person. I think you, I don't know, well, actually I have no way of knowing if you got them yet, but yeah, I'd be excited for those too. Those are pretty cool. Bob, John must have really been missing Lisa. He slapped your knee several times. Yeah, that was a little weird, but obviously I kid around with John. I love John. He's one of the nicest dudes ever. You know, obviously if you've been around, you know we go back and forth, so it's a give and take. I give, he takes. Hey, hey, hey. My LFS is reluctant to bring in electric blue cars for me, claiming they show up with ick. Is this something common with them or just a bad experience? It's just a bad experience on his part, Kenny. I've ordered electric blue caras from some really bad wholesalers and didn't have a problem with them. Now, I guess I don't know how to word this, but he should be able to fairly easily get electric blue acaras to selling condition. Like, it's not a hard fish to cure. One, even if it came with ick is really easy to get rid of. So sure, maybe he's out an extra couple bucks in meds, but I don't know. That seems like a crazy excuse to me. Have I ever seen a Synodontis? Doesn't Dan have those right now? Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he had that one. It's not on his website, so it's my. Let me see if I happen to have any footage of it here. I'm fairly confident. Where's Johnny from Dan's Fish? He's normally here on Monday. Let's see. Go to my catfish folder here. No, I don't have any. I swear he has them. But have you looked at like Planet Catfish? They don't have anything. Seriously Fish. Let me see. I've seen them before. I'm gonna tell you right now, their care is not very much different than any other Synodontis. Let's get to the bottom of this here. There's definitely not a lot on here. I think its real name is the Saloni, if I remember right. Look up this one, because I think this is the actual correct name. I think that's the one you want. I think that's the real name. Look that one up and let me know if it's the same one that you're looking at. Tank size for electric blue Acaras, bigger the better. How much money do you have? How much can you afford? My LFS has them and they seem like water pup. They're definitely not. They're definitely not. My electric blue Acara was a fin nipper, shredded all my plants. It was probably one of the most annoying fish I've ever kept. I don't know if I just had some one-off angry electric blue Acaras, but mine were angry. Maybe I just wasn't keeping them right. I wouldn't say that they're like super hyper aggressive or anything, but it was almost like they got bored and were just like, I'm going to shred everything. Curtis said, also, I just want to toss it out there that I really enjoyed the 2-hour video. Watched it in one sitting. Awesome. There's actually quite a few people that watched that in one sitting. And if you liked the long format, this Wednesday, my video is almost an hour. It's like 50 something. Maybe it's in the 40s. I don't know. Basically, it's an hour. That's coming out Wednesday. And so if you enjoyed the longer format, hopefully you'll enjoy this one too. The spotting pattern is different. They look like petricolas, but the tail doesn't have as much black, and they don't have the white tips. I'm probably going to have to do some research on that one. I know I've... So I'm going to tell you, as someone, I've probably kept like 6 different species of Synodontis, and I've never found them to be difficult to care for at all. I've kept them in my regular water, 7.0 pH, 78 degrees. I've kept them in Lake Tanganyika tanks with some of my Tanganyikans, so higher pH, 78 degrees, harder water. I've kept them with pistos and rainbow fish in soft water in like 6.8 pH, and I've never had an issue with them. I've never met or kept a dainty Synodontis. They're always, I'm not gonna say bulletproof because I don't like that word, but pretty dang hardy. I keep EBAs with my blood parrots. They get along wonderfully. Yeah, but I mean like more in like a community setting. So, you know, EBAs, you know, you got your tetras, you got your corridoras, things like that. Maybe some barbs. Definitely not I wouldn't do rasboras. They're too small. Do you think microorganisms fry food are on the floating plant roots? I wouldn't count on it, Hero Shots. If you're wanting to like community on them and raise them up in a tank without doing live foods and things like that, you're gonna want lots of algae. Algae is where all those microorganisms grow on. I hope I didn't just say microorganisms. Microorganisms. Like out in my ponds, there's algae everywhere, and I have tons of fry out in my ponds right now. When I'm raising fry in my fish room, I try to get tons of algae and lots of green water. So, yeah, don't count on plants. Plants generally not. Algae definitely. Okay, so I did some measuring in my room and I can fit one more 10 and a 20 long or 29 gallon. Well, now you just, oh, I guess I did just say it then, didn't I? Whoops. Oh well. Work's been a little stressful, but other than that, everything is great. Puffer's doing really well. I can't wait for it to grow, as it takes a few minutes to look at him every day. He's a great personality, my friend. All right. That's what she said. All right, let's run through some of these comments that I missed here. Tank size for EBAs. Oh, I guess I didn't miss size. Honestly, I know people that keep them in like 20s, but for me, like 40 breeder is what I would do, or bigger. But I do know, and I've seen people keeping them in 20s. Clown loaches for eating snails. Oh, are we looking for best snail eating fish? I would definitely go with loaches. I probably wouldn't go with clown loaches because those are going to get insanely big after about 30 years. Slowest growing fish ever. Like yo-yo loach would be a really good one. There's obviously loaches that are not going to do well, like your coolie loaches, your rosy loaches. There's plenty of loaches that don't eat snails, but your yo-yo, zebras, those are what I would go with. I just got a text that you were talking about the ping pong match, so I went back and listened. This is an outrage. I've never heard of so many excuses in my life. I wasn't making excuses. I was just telling you how it went down. Like, the fact that I was stomping you with a subpar table with subpar rackets, and the fact that I let you win, like, best way to rid a tank of a snails, ram's horn, bladder, and mystery snails. Well, I mean, if you really want to get rid of them, you can just salt them. But if you have other stuff in there, I probably wouldn't do that. The best way is figure out why you have a ton of snails. Most people get a ton of snails because they're overfeeding. If you cut back on the feeding, you'll cut down on the snails. You won't get rid of them, but you'll definitely cut down the numbers a lot. If you want to get rid of them, then I would go. My favorite loach is the dwarf chain loach. They're a little spendier, but I would go, if you can find dwarf chain loaches, a lot of wholesalers, not a lot, but there's some wholesalers that keep them in every single one of their tanks just to avoid snails. Corey lost to me and said nothing, just shook my hand like a man and took the loss. That's not true. He specifically said the rackets were terrible. Have you dwarf chain loaches available lately? They are awesome. No, but I don't really look at loaches. So I do know they're one of the more expensive ones. Amy brings up a good point. Embrace the snails. Snails are good for your tank. However, having like 1 million of them, not so good. When you get to the point where you just have like mounds of, like, if you drop in a wafer and you have like a gigantic mound of snails fighting for it, that's too many. It's gonna hurt your water quality. I mean, you definitely have to increase your water changes if you've got that many snails pooping in your water. Embrace the snails. Yeah, I mean, like I do. I love snails, but like I said, if you're at the point where you just have like these gigantic mounds of snails, then you probably need to cut back on your feeding. And John, I said, if you get a ping pong table, I will come to you. I will come to you and play you. You see, I give John nothing but respect. Nothing but respect. I said he's way better than I thought he was. I give him credit. He's really good. I said that. And here he is, like, trying to attack me. I tried to be the better person here. Give him some credit where credit is due. And I said, John is a lot better than I thought he would be. And this is the thing. This is how he treats me. I agree the paddles were terrible. I literally didn't move. I didn't even move my feet. Like I said, I was up so large, like I was trying to make it a challenge, somewhat of a challenge. The score was 5-1. I let you come back. The score was 10-5. I let you come back. The score was 15-10. I let you come back. Like, blowouts are not fun. They're not fun for the winner. They're certainly not fun for the loser. They're not fun for the fans. Gets low ratings, like, right? This is why most professional sports are fixed, so there's not blowouts, because it's terrible for ratings. Try to be a nice guy, and this is the thanks I get. Whew, jeez. Easy way to remove a ton of snails at once. Drop in a big chunk of blanched broccoli crown. Pull it up the next day. Yeah, definitely. Just put, if you want to get rid of them, definitely just throw in, you know, you can put some cucumber on a fork so it sinks, or like you can blanch it if you want. And just let it sit there overnight. In the morning, get distracted by these comments. In the morning, you just take out your fork with the cucumber on it. Take it out slow. Don't just grab it and rip it out, because then all the snails are going to fall off. But you'll do that for a couple days in a row, and soon you'll get rid of most of your snails. I'll also say, like, I even told John I always lose the first couple games. You can't even deny that I said that, John. Corey can back me up. I always lose the first couple games. I always do. That's how I set my trap. Literally every time I play ping pong, I lose the first couple games. Unfortunately, the table and the paddles were so awful that I just didn't even want to play again. I couldn't do it. Overfeeding is the way. Just clean the tank. Overfeeding is the way if you want to breed, for sure. Ay, ay, ay. Well, I gotta get ready for bed. Thanks for the awesome stream, Bob, and great job. Keep the chat A+, always as mods. And Bob, I know you could easily beat John at ping pong anytime you want. Thanks, UPS, for living the dream. I appreciate the comment. Next on ESPN, it would be next on ESPN cage match ping pong. It would be like ESPN 7 or maybe ESPN 8. It wouldn't be on the main ESPN channel. Oh man. New local also says, yeah, John, where's Lisa? Huh? Where's Lisa, John? How come Lisa's not here? Where's Lisa? Jeez. Lady Diane says, enjoyed the stream. Good night, all. Everyone's leaving. Man, John shows up and everyone leaves the stream. Holy smokes. Good gracious. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Thank you, Katie. I agree. I agree. Oh, boy. I will say, John, if we do play again, you at least got to play by the rules. The real rules. If we get the chance again. Not these made-up rules. Freshwater Dreaming says, yo-yos are awesome, very active. Yeah, the yo-yos, the zebras, they're all super awesome loaches. Lisa is probably celebrating her birthday. It is her birthday, I think, next week. So, just saying. Don't forget to say happy birthday. My favorite way to get rid of snails is putting a school of Amazon puffers in the tank. That is absolutely the way to do it. I intentionally breed a bunch of snails to feed my clown loaches. I use broccoli trick to get a bunch out all at once. Yeah, like, I mean, if you have loaches, if you have puffers, absolutely. Cage match ping pong. Oh man. No, I'm seriously though. John is definitely like when I told John right at the start, I'm like, dude, there's no way you're good at ping pong, and he's actually really good at ping pong. So I will give credit where credit is due. Like, it's no backhanded combo, no side-handed. John is actually really good at ping pong. What else? The first best thing that y'all enjoyed last. What was the best thing that y'all enjoyed last weekend? Let me think about this one. What did I mean, you say y'all. I don't know what other people enjoyed. What did I enjoy the most? Honestly, what did I enjoy the most? I mean, I'm trying to be cliche and say meeting everyone. I mean, obviously that's the answer. Like meeting everyone is always the best part. So besides that, if I had to pick something besides that, it was probably our late night talks with John in prime time. The Texas Fish Room was there, and then the first night he ignored my invite. The second night, but yeah, just sitting when all the partiers leave, and it's just like us lame dudes, and we're just sitting around, you know, just talking about whatever, talking about movies, current events, fish, whatever, motorcycles. That was probably the best. I'm more of a low key person, so like just sitting down with a couple people and just chatting for hours, like I'm all about that. Versus, you know, being in some big convention, there's thousands of people and you can't hear. You really don't get any quality time with anyone. So I mean that would be it for me. My niece came. Oh, that was your niece? I just assumed it was your daughter. I'll have to make a video once the Tetris get here and post it for you guys to see. Absolutely. I'd love to see that. Aquaball says, Bob, I ordered some rainbow fish from Dan's Fish when you did his walk. At the fish warehouse, Melanotania, Gary Lane Guy 5. It's coming soon. Hopefully you used my link and got 10% off. Is that still on here? Nope. So I will do a little sales pitch here before the end of the stream, or maybe I won't because I don't have the link up anymore. How dare you, John? How dare you? If you've never ordered from Fish and you click on this link right here, you will get 10% off your first order. I make about $1,000 to $1,500 every time you order with that link, so I'll get rich, super rich, and you know we all get what we want. So there you go. Motorcycles. I like motorcycles. I like motorcycles too. Texas Fisherman says, if I wouldn't have saw the message until 1 a.m., been there. I know, I'm just giving you a hard time. I got some Dr. Baslier's fish food. Their medium-sized pellets are tiny, 0.5 to 0.8 millimeters. I'm going to get their large pellets for my plants next time. They seem to really like the food, though. I've never tried it, but I've heard good things about it. Vibes Aquatics says, new local Austin, I'm happy for your niece getting the next generation into the hobby. All right, I agree. Deb Hall says, Leslie Perry, I found Yo-Yo Loach to be a bit of a jerk. That is until my Dojo Loach outgrew him and put him in his place. So I will say that Loaches, they're definitely a, they're a shoaling fish. They like to be in groups, and it's one of those fish that can be fin nippers if they're not in groups. So keep that in mind. Like, don't, well, I'm not gonna say don't, but I wouldn't recommend buying one to get rid of your snail problem. I wouldn't recommend actually buying any animal to get rid of your snail problem, because you're basically just renting an animal. When I say something like, you know, Dojo Loach or Zebra Loach to get rid of your snail problem, I'm hoping that you're going to research them and actually buy and like them enough to buy a group of them. So just keep that in mind. You know, they do like to be in groups. What else? Whew. John says, I completely agree. Aside from the usual seeing the people, the late night talks are the thing I look forward to most. Yep. It's, and even the, like the VIP meet and greet the Friday before that nobody knew about because they didn't even announce it till that day. You know, it was only, what, like, minus the, creator, maybe like 20, couple dozen people there. That was pretty fun too. I paid to watch Bob kick John's butt at ping pong. I don't know that there'd actually be any like actual butt kicking, but I think I would win. There'd be some close games though. I would add a few more. Yep. Leslie Perry says, I love all the loaches. Absolutely. But I'm telling you, if you can find the dwarf chain loach, I'm warning you, they're expensive. But if you can get a group of dwarf chain loaches, it'll be one of the most fun fish you've ever owned in your life. They're just, their behavior kind of reminds me of a Pandagara, where they're really active, but they're not like overbearing, like super active, like a Pictus catfish that just freaks out every other fish in the tank. If that makes any sense, I don't know. But they're really fun fish. I wish I still had them. I used to have a group of them many years ago. I remember I used to want tiger barbs. I'm still sad I never did it. I'll have to wait the next time I have a big enough tank. They're fun. Like, I was never, this is kind of stupid to say, but I was never a tiger barb person until Corey had like 200 of them in his 800 gallon. But at the same time, if you put 200 gallon any fish in an 800 gallon, you're gonna like it. So did I really like them, or did I just like that scenario? I don't know. Dev Hall says, love my dwarf chain loaches. Yes, active but nice. Exactly. Active but nice. Dwarf chain loaches, best substrate. I wouldn't say there's a best substrate. They're not like Corey, so they will sift through gravel. So you don't want like sharp gravel. But any like Eco Complete, like that's gonna be just fine. Fluorite, gonna be just fine. Green tiger barbs though, yeah, green tiger barbs. Have I ever kept a peacock or fire eel? I've tried to keep the fire eel twice, and supplier was just did not ship me very good specimens. I knew it as soon as I got him. When I got the first one, I was like, this thing's in bad shape. I couldn't save it, and I thought, well, maybe that's just a one-off. So I got another one, and it was just as bad. So I didn't order anymore. But I would love to keep a fire eel someday. At about 15 to 1.5, and it was pretty cool. Whoa. Are loaches difficult to breed? No. It's not something like that I would say, oh, you're a beginner, you've been in the hobby for 6 months, get some dwarf chain loaches and go breed them. Probably not. But if you've got a few years under your belt, you've bred some fish, you could definitely breed loaches. They're not terribly difficult. Yeah, coolies, yeah. Zebras, yo-yos, dwarf chain loaches, all pretty easy to breed. It's basically just get a pile of rocks and feed them. I mean, there's a bit more that goes into that, but like I would say, if you've bred corridoras, then you could breed some of these loaches. All right, so that's gonna do it for tonight. We are past 2 hours. Black ruby barbs are the way to go. All the looks and a lot less. I mean, black ruby barbs are probably my favorite barb. I'm sure there's one I like more, but offhand, from what I'm thinking about right now, what other barb? I mean, yeah, black ruby barbs. The only problem is it takes them a while to color up, but once they do, they're freaking amazing. But anyways, I'm out for real this time. Night all. I've been trying to breed my coolies for 3 years. Nothing. Yeah. Coolies, not the easiest. The other species I mentioned, you're going to have a lot better time with. Rosy loaches would be a good one if you wanted to breed. Really small, though, so keep that in mind. But anyways, thanks for everyone coming out. I really had a fun time. I can't believe it's already been 2 hours. It's crazy. John, good game for real on the ping pong. Hopefully one day we'll be able to play again, and I will play for real. Texas Fish Room, Jay Oliver's Guppies, everyone I met this weekend. It was super awesome to meet you all, and I will hopefully see you all next week. Maybe, if I can end this thing.